How to start a profitable business, the ultimate beginner's step-by-step tutorial. Launching a lucrative company is more science than art, with a bit of luck sprinkled in between. From market research to client acquisition to strategic scaling, there are specific things an entrepreneur must take to become great. In today's global economy, you don't necessarily need business acumen, significant cash, or even a college degree to kick off something that might be the next major commercial hit. But you definitely need a plan. And in this tutorial, we hold your hand and walk you through the intricacies of entrepreneurship, helping you turn your big idea into a successful business. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic because I'm doing marvelous. And if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or let's roll. Today we want to have a conversation around starting a profitable business. And I'm going to give you a very easy peasy step-by-step tutorial. First things first, you want to assess your strengths and weaknesses. Right? It's very important. You know, why you want to start a business? Is it because you're trying to get some extra cash, or you want more freedom? You don't want to have the, you don't want to be sort of tied to the 9-to-5 job schedule. You got to ask yourself really why you started the business, right? And next, you want to think about the skills you have. What do you bring to the table? You know, where are your passions? You know, what is your area of expertise? What do you bring into the table in terms of skills? What do you bring into the market in terms of expertise, right? The thing here is that you got to also ask yourself, what is your financial strength? How much money you have? Because the likelihood of I think the SBA has said that 90% of businesses fail in the first 2 years. So there is a high likelihood that you would fail. Now, I'm not saying here that you will fail. I'm just saying that there's a likelihood based on past and historical data that you might have some difficulties. So you got to think about how much money you have and can you survive over the 2-3 years before your business starts taking off, right? Another thing you got to think about is how much capital do you need, right? And what sort of lifestyle do you want to live? Because starting a business, you're going to have to work long hours. Everybody knows that. This is not the 9-to-5 that you might be accustomed to while working for someone else. If you're working for yourself, chances are you're working 18 hours, right? Or 16 hours. So you're working a lot. So the big question here is, are you even ready to be an entrepreneur, right? So you want to think about that. And as you think about it, you want to write things down. Take a piece of paper and just have 2 columns, your strengths and your weaknesses. Write them down. And the next thing you want to do here is ask friends and relatives to review your assessments. You can even submit the idea to a trusted expert in your network. It's very important. You want to submit the idea to somebody you trust and who has some kind of expertise when it comes to business, right? You don't want to submit the idea to a stranger, right? Because if you have a business idea, you want to protect that. You want to really protect it. Now, so second thing is you need to come up with a business idea. Everybody thinks they have a killer business idea. Okay. But the thing here is, how unique is your business idea, right? How do you know it's even good? What proof do you have that this is better? Are you providing a solution that doesn't exist already in the market? Are you providing a solution to a problem that has been going on for the last 20 years or 30 years? So you want to really evaluate the powerfulness, the strength of your business idea. All right. Experts usually recommend that entrepreneurs list 2 or 3 or 4 business ideas and then rank them. Right, this is very important. Another thing you need to think about, and this is the third option, is you want to research the market. It's very important. You want to find out what the competition is doing. Is there anybody else, doing the same thing you're doing, right? You want to gather some intel on the particular niche you want to get into, right? People talk about primary research, secondary research, primary research, secondary research, online research, whatever it is. you need to get some research. Now you can outsource that, or you can do it yourself. You can even ask around in your entourage, survey the people you know, right? Trying to get some feel of the particular product or service you want to get into. This is very important. Ask yourself, for instance, what are the elements people will consider when purchasing this product or service that you are about to offer, right? And flip things around. Consider yourself a potential customer. Would you want to buy the product or service that your company will offer? So this is the things you have to think about. All right, I'll be right back right after this and go more. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still continuing our conversation about how to start a profitable business. Now, the fourth element here is to seek feedback, right? Once you have things written down, you've done research, you've listed your own strengths and weaknesses, you want to seek specific feedback. Now, I spoke earlier about reaching out to an expert in your entourage. Here, I'm just trying to, I would want you to expand the simple of people reviewing your product or service. Now, you can do so through surveys. You can do so by commissioning a market research firm. There are tons of them. You have some, nowadays it's even cheaper because those companies use online resources. They use social media, so you can actually get feedback from the market in real time by using direct marketing, direct research. So you want to think about that. This is very important. You can even do a survey the old way, old school survey. So you basically buy data from a third party company, and you can make calls yourself, trying to see people are interested in your product or service. You can go to fairs, to industry events, to gather interest in your potential interest in your products. Number 5, make things legal. It's very important, right? So you're trying to get all the legal aspect out of the way. And it's very important to have a lawyer on board, right? You want to get a small business lawyer on board. And this attorney can help you with things like business structure, right? You want to know which kind of structure you need. Do you need a partnership, LLC, limited liability company, corporation? You want to find a name that is not already taken. You want to register your business, get an EIN, which is the federal employer identification number. That's your tax ID. You want to get your state's tax ID also, right? And you want to work with a lawyer to secure the specific trademarks, copyright, and patent that you might have in your business. So you want to contact the United States Patent and Trademark Administration agency, rather. I'm not really sure if it's agency or Another thing you want to think about is your licenses, right? Permits, licenses. Those are important. Some industries are even stricter than others. So when it comes to healthcare, for instance, you need to get certain licenses and permits. So you want to think about that. The next thing you want to do is you want to write a business plan. Now, a business plan is very important, and I think it's one of those things that everybody has heard the word so many times that you think you know what it is. It's very, very important. It's underestimated, unfortunately. A business plan, just very simple definition, is a written description of how your business will evolve from when it starts to the finished product. So you're giving people a timeline of your business from the founding date to say 2 or 3 years down the road, right? So you kind of have, it's part reality and part fiction. It's not fiction, it's more forecasting, it's more estimation, it's more perspective analysis. All right, so a good business plan, you can either write it yourself if you have experienced that, in that field, or you can go online and get a free sample and just fill it up. I would suggest hiring someone to write the business plan. If you're not versed in that sort of field, it's better to outsource that task, because spending $200-300 on something as important as a business plan is definitely worth it, because the plan can be used for several things, including when it comes time for financing and you're trying to reach out to a bank for a loan, or you reach out to an angel investor or a VC firm, venture capital firm. Those types of investors, those financiers, including your bank, they're used to reading professionally written business plans, right? So a business plan usually has an executive summary. You have things like business description, market strategies, competitive analysis, design and development plan, financial forecasting, financial statements. This could be a prospective financial statement. So I'm talking balance sheet, income statements, it's statement of cash flows, and statement of shareholders' equity. All right. So this is all of these things. We have an entire show dedicated. We have an entire show focused on business plan. You might want to double check that and to get more info. All right. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We'll still continue our conversation today about how to start a profitable business, the ultimate easy step-by-step tutorial. If you just join us, or you just been listening to us for a while and you appreciate the quality of the content we've been sharing with you today, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you are made aware of new shows as they drop. You know, we like to drop those new gems of shows every single day. Like this content, share this if you know a prospective business owner or a prospective rookie business owner out there who might need this kind of info, and comment below. All right. Now, you want to fund your business. You want to fund the business. Now, there are several ways of funding a business. If you have the cash, that's fantastic. That's the ideal, right? If you have it, or your family member, your dad, your mom, or you have a wealthy aunt or a wealthy uncle somewhere who agrees to fund it, or you just have a, because if the family can't fund it, you can still tap into your entourage, your circle, right? Your social circle. So I'm talking about your friends and colleagues. So that's just very important also. Now, if you pitch your idea to friends and family and they don't respond to you successfully, you can also get money from the government. There are small business grants. So if you go to www.grants.gov, this is basically, you have more than 1,000 federal grants programs available to small business owners, and you can just search through that directory to find if something applies to your particular field. All right. You can also start a crowdfunding campaign online, right? There are a lot of websites out there. I'm talking about Indiegogo or Kickstarter, where you can just present you can introduce your business to millions of fans and potential customers out there. And if you're lucky, and if you have a compelling product, you might be funded. Another thing you can do also is you can even join a startup incubator or accelerator, right? This is the kind of companies that allow startup to get the next level. So they would give you free resources, including consulting, office facilities, networking opportunities, and pitch events, right? You can also consider getting a bank loan, I said that earlier, or just a line of credit. Of course, if the business is new, the bank will make a decision on two things: the solidity of your financial plan and business plan, and number two, your personal credit score. So make sure before you reach out to the bank that you have perfect credit score, and that you can actually, because at that point the business hasn't had an operational story long enough, an operational history rather, long enough to have a standalone credit score. So you can also do one thing. You can also solicit venture capital investors, as I said earlier, or angel investors, right? You can do that as well. You can even talk to a customer or a supplier. You can have a strategic agreement with them, where you basically get an advance from them to start the business. All right. So once you fund the business, you want to start creating a product and service, right? You want to think about the contours of the products. You want to do some R&D. You can outsource it. You can do it in-house. It totally depends on you. When it comes to services, you have to think about what's important for the service, how you add value to the customer, right? And one thing you want to do is when it comes to creating a product or service, don't hire generalists. You want to hire specialists, right? You want to get the people who really know what they're doing. You want to reach out to a manufacturer who has experience in the specific products or types of products you want to sell, right? Now is not the time to be greedy, to be stingy. No, you want to basically spend as much money to get quality, right? Now, one thing is very important. You want to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? So you want to be able to reach out to several manufacturers, for instance, or if you're providing a service, you want to reach out to several freelancers, right? So that if one falls through because something happened, life happens, you're able to rebound. It's very important. Number 9, you want to build a team. Now, to scale your business, you're going to need a lot of smart people, right? And I'm talking about anything from employees to freelancers to partners to co-founders, right? For you to move on to the next level, you need people. And people are the foundation of corporate success. I don't care what the product is. I don't care what the service is. You need people to execute any strategic plan you're going to have, right? So build a team. You want to build an A team, right? And again, there are 3 categories of team members you need: partners, employees, or freelancers. Now, when it comes to freelancers, there are many websites out there that would give you many freelancers in your industry, and they work at pretty good and affordable prices. Specifically because we are currently in a global economy, so your freelancers might be somewhere in Asia or Africa where the cost of living might be a little lower than in the States. So you are actually making money. You're not making money. You're saving money from that differential in cost of living by paying a lower hourly rate. All right. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We still continue our conversation today here about how to start a profitable business, and this is the ultimate step-by-step tutorial. Now, the next thing you want to do is find a location for your business. You want to find a location for your business. This is important. Now, it is important for several reasons. The location of your business will basically give the first impression to your customers, right? We all know first impressions count. So depending on the style of operations and the particular demographics that you seek, you need to know what kind of location you want to get. Now, the thing here is that you also want to be around your customers. You want to be in an area where customers are, right? For instance, if your customers are in LA, you don't want to open your main office in New York, right? It wouldn't make sense. You want to be where the market is, where the customer is, because you want to, even if you're providing products, finished products, it's important to consider foot traffic. You want your customers, your clients, to be able to walk into your office and speak to a person, right? They want to, shake hands, talk, negotiate deal. That's the kind of stuff you want. You also want to know, for instance, where your competitors are, right? So you have to find out whether it makes sense in your particular situation to have your competitors nearby, because it all depends on the industry. In some industries, it's just wonderful to be in the same area as your competitors because of a particular advantage that the location has for your particular type of business, but in others, no. So you also want to think about, get some intel on the image and history of the site, right? Because it's important to figure out beforehand what a particular address say about your business, right? So you want to find out if businesses have failed over there before or something crazy has happened there. You just want to know. You also want to think about the advantages, right? In some areas, state authorities will give you a tax break. They'll give you subsidies. They'll just do a lot of stuff to attract you, so that you can hire people, so they can boost the local they can lower the local unemployment rate. And another thing you want to think about is think about the quality of utilities, right? The quality of the logistical process. Is it closer to a highway? If you are in the shipping industry, you want to be close to a highway. You want to have a lot of space, that kind of stuff for trucks. All right. Now start selling. Once you've done everything, start selling. You want to get out there and start selling. It's not about a lot of small business owners, especially the rookies, spend too much time thinking, strategizing. They get into what I call analysis paralysis. They just analyze and never get to market. You want to get to market. You want to start making mistakes so that you can learn and grow. So start selling. All right. Your business future will depend on revenue and sales. That makes sense. So you want to start reaching out. If you have some beta customers, or those early adopters, you want to reach out to them, and you want to start selling. You can even give freebies, right? You can give freebies, and a lot of companies do this, especially in online. They give you this 30 days free, 30 days trial period. So you try it, and after 30 days, they already have your credit card info anyway on record. So it's just they're working with statistics here, right? So they're thinking, if we have 100 clients enroll in the trial period, maybe 10% will remain actual clients. So it's a numbers game, really, if you think about it. So start selling. Do everything you need to do to close a sale, to call customers through cold calls or through industry events, whatever strategy you choose. Start selling. Promote your business. That's next, right? You want to exhibit at trade shows. You can set up a Google My Business account to run PPC ads, pay-per-click ads. Consider placing ads on TV. Those might be a little expensive, but it depends on your industry and your locality. Think about Facebook ads. Very, very good. Another way of promoting your business is to consider digital marketing. So everything from email marketing to social media, to partnering with an industry luminary, so a celebrity, that kind of stuff, right? You can also do content marketing, so setting up a blog around your business. You can even consider one of those online store platforms. We just did a great show on Shopify, and you might want to double check that. Shopify, that tells you everything you need to know on how to set up an online store. So this is pretty much it in terms of promoting your business. I'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still continuing our conversation on setting up a profitable business. And after promoting your business, you want to grow your company, right? There are different ways to grow your company, but the thing here is that you want to have a plan to market yourself. You want to grow through organic, through paid campaigns, or influencer campaigns, right? As I was telling you, you can use social media. The goal here is to go from a few customers to 100, 200, 500 customers, right? You want to be able to start growing, and you need to have a growth plan. You need that, because for you to survive in the industry and outbeat your competitors, you need to start making money. So think about growing your company. Now, number 14 rather, outsource some tasks. This step is very important. Why? Because at some point you're gonna have to think about inefficiency versus efficiency. You're going to think about productivity. You're going to think about how to crush operational lethargy in your company. So you need to ask yourself a few questions, right? I mean, is doing this myself going to keep me from making money? So to outsource, to find out whether you should outsource or perform a task in-house, think about, are you making more, by doing this job, by doing this task, are you making less money? Are you good at this particular task? Or is this task a complete waste of your time? Right? And other ways to figure this out are things like, do you delay doing this task? Are you procrastinating? Right? Do you love doing this task at all, or do you dread it? Are you great at it? Right? So those are questions you need to ask yourself to figure out where your time can be best spent. Because as an entrepreneur, you want to maximize areas where you are spectacular, areas where you are great, and outsource anything where you are not great, or you don't like doing, or you don't have time doing. Right? So typical areas that small business owners might outsource include accounting and finance, things like doing research, graphic design and digital presentation preparation, things like appointments, reservation, logistics, coordination, answering the phone, right? A lot of people have a private assistant online nowadays, so you can have your assistant somewhere in the Philippines, or somewhere in Senegal, or somewhere in Brazil, where you are just you are in the States, right? So those are things you can really outsource. Number 15, here is the last step here. You want to scale the business. Now, scaling the business is different from growing the business. If you remember earlier, I was telling you start with a few customers and you want to grow the business to 200, 500 customers. That's growing the business. Scaling means that you're going from 500 to 5,000 or 10,000. So you want to become a biggie. So you need to have a plan for scaling, right? So you are basically setting the stage to enable and support growth in a company. And I'm talking about growth over a long time, right? So you got to think about planning. You will need a lot of cash. You need to have the right systems, staff, processes, IT infrastructure, and partners. So here we're talking about you are playing like maybe in the divisional league, and now you want to move on national stage, right? So you were playing in Eastern Conference, and now you're going global. You're going national or global for that matter. So you need to evaluate and plan things. You need to find the cash, right? Finding the cash. I spoke earlier about the grants and all the grants, the loans, the VC firms, the angel investors. You need to find the money. You need to secure the sales. It's very important to grow, to scale actually. You need to increase the number of clients, as I said earlier, but you need to have long-term commitments from those clients. And usually you can do this several ways. One particular great way is to sign long-term contracts. So you sign a 5-year contract where revenue is assured, because if the clients all of a sudden backs away, you can go around and sue them and get your money anyway. So you get your money anyway. So that's really that peace of mind from what I call revenue stability, revenue clarity allows you to scale. You also, when it comes to scaling, you also want to invest in technology, right? Because the infrastructure, the IT infrastructure that you need to handle 500 clients is way different than the one you need to handle 10,000 clients. So you need to invest significantly in IT. I'm thinking about anything from, you want to start automating stuff, right? You want to automate everything from shipping to HR to accounting to manufacturing to inventory management to marketing to CRM and sales management, right? Usually at that point, you might, when you're ready to scale, a lot of companies would go for an ERP. So that's enterprise resource planning software, which is, if you will, some kind of an umbrella program that encompasses everything across your value chain. Again, from research and development all the way to sales and client service management. Now, another thing you want to do when it comes to scaling is you need to have the right staff, right? Again, the staff you need for 500 people may not be the same staff you need to handle, not 500 people, but 500 clients. May not be the same staff you need to handle 5,000 clients, right? So you need to think about that. You need to either find the staff and hire them, or strategically outsource. Okay, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are about to wrap up today's conversation. If you like the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you are aware of new shows as we drop them. Very, very happy to have had this conversation with you. And for those who just want to know the context of today's conversation, that context was very simple. Launching a lucrative company is more science than art, with a bit of luck sprinkled in between. From market research to client acquisition to strategic scaling, there are specific steps an entrepreneur must take to become great. In today's global economy, you don't necessarily need business acumen, significant cash, or even a college degree to kick off something that might be the next major commercial hit. But you definitely need a plan. And in this tutorial, I've given you 15 steps to help you understand the intricacies of entrepreneurship and helping you turn your big idea into a successful business. Now, here's a recap. Here are the 15 steps. You first want to assess your strengths and weaknesses. Come up with a business idea. Research the market. Seek feedback. Make things legal. Write a business plan. Fund your company. Create your product or service. Build a team. Find a location for your business. Start selling. Promote your business. Grow your company. Outsource some tasks. Scale your business. Today's call to action is very simple, and in every show, at the end of every show, we like to give a call to action to our beautiful and lovely fans and listeners and viewers. And today's call to action is very simple. As you're trying to launch your business, make sure you pay attention to a few specific things. Specifically, you want to get some experts on board, either full-time, part-time, or on a contract, doesn't matter. You need to have an attorney. This is very important. You need to have an accountant or finance expert. It could be a CPA. A CPA can also help you with your taxes, with your company taxes. You want to have the proper insurance. You want to have the proper staff. We talked about that. Get some talent in the company. And you want to have a mentor or coach. And that's personal. Someone who you can bounce off ideas, from or to. And you both can talk about stuff and kind of find out what really works. So this is very important. Thank you very much for your attention today, and I really appreciate it. Until then, I'll see you next time. Until then, stay marvelous.